Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to a wonderful, beautiful, probably warm because we live in Florida, Monday math video. Now, first of all, let's just all be super thankful that we don't live in Illinois because like a week ago on like the 17th or whatever, it was snowing. They had snow. Ridiculous. So glad I'm not there. But anyway, I'm not here just to talk about the weather. That's cool, but I'm not here for it. I'm here to teach you guys math. We are in a new unit. We are talking about measurements. Woo! I love math and measurements. So let's get straight into it, okay? So today we are talking about customary measurement. Customary measurement is the measurement that the United States uses. Pretty much everybody else uses the metric system, but we use customary because we're special. So that would include inches, feet, yards, miles, and then things like cups, quarts, pints, and gallons. It also includes some ounces, so it also includes ounces, pounds, and that other word, tons. All right, so we're gonna talk about that. The first thing I wanna mention to you, top of your page, right there, you have all of your conversions. I'll get it nice and close so you can probably not read it, but you know what I'm talking about. All of this up here. From that, I have a handy dandy conversion chart for you. Now you might be asking, Miss Ellen, it's on my page. Why would I need this chart when it's on the page before? Because if you do this chart, you can use it on your quiz. Woohoo! So go ahead and fill out this chart. I literally copied it from here. The only thing I did was add blanks for you to fill in. But every single one. So I put 1 foot, and then in parentheses FT, so you knew what that meant. So I put 1 foot equals blank inches, and you just fill it in. All right? The only two that are missing, I'm going to go over those now. The only two that are missing that you can also add to this are pounds to ounces and tons to pounds. So 1 pound is 16 ounces. Not fluid ounces, that's different. So fluid ounces for capacity, like to fill things, is different than weight ounces, okay? So 1 pound is 16 ounces. And then we have 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. So many. But it's 2,000 pounds, okay? So go ahead and write that at like the bottom of your conversion chart or on this page or wherever. But you will have questions about it on the quiz. So if you want to have it written for you, go for it. Pardon me. All right. So I'm not going to go into what each of the conversions are because you do have it written right there. But what I am going to do is go over the part below it where it says how to change from one measurement, from one unit to another. So you might be sitting there going, how would I change from miles to yards? Or how can I know how many cups are in a gallon? Things like that. So there are 2 rules. We're only going to deal with multiplication and division, okay? So if you are going from larger to smaller, you're going to multiply. Think about it in terms of a ruler. I have 1 whole foot, right? If I want to find out how many inches I'm in, that's a smaller unit to fill the same space. So the number is going to be bigger. The unit is smaller. Inches are smaller than feet. But the number 12 is going to be bigger than 1. So 12 inches, there's more inches than feet, but they fill the same space. Make sense? So you have 1 foot. You're going to multiply it by 12 because we see that 1 foot is 12 inches. You're going to multiply it by 12, and that gives us 12 inches. Wow. But if I wanted to go from a smaller unit of measurement to a larger, I would divide. So I could have 18 inches. Let's add an imaginary 6. So if I had 18 inches here and I wanted to know how many feet that came in, I know that 12 inches fits into 1 foot. So my number for the feet should be smaller than the number of inches that I have, right? So if I go, trying to guesstimate here. So if I have 18 inches-ish, and I wanted to go to feet, I would divide it by what? I would divide it by 12. Very good. And that would get me 1.5. I know you guys could have done the math, but just to let you know, it would have been 1.5. All right, so if you're going from larger to smaller, you're gonna multiply. If you're gonna go from smaller to larger, you're gonna divide. I know that seems kind of backwards because when we think going from a smaller number to a bigger number, we multiply, but we're going from units, not numbers, okay? So let's look at these. I currently have 3 on my board that I will show you. They are 1, 3, and 5 on our worksheet because my brain, when it has columns, goes down the columns, not across. All right, so let's look at 36 inches equals how many feet? How are we gonna find this out, you ask? Let's look at our conversion chart. So there are a couple ways to do this. I know 36 inches, right? I have 36 inches. Now, it's asking me how many feet. So I can do one of 2 things. I can either make a proportion, a ratio, proportion, remember those? So I could say 36 inches, sorry, that would go on the bottom, 36 inches for how many feet, X amount of feet, and then I have 12 inches for 1 foot. That's a little more complicated, so I'll just show you the easier way, but I want to let you know that it's there if you like doing proportions. But the easiest way that you're going to do it is you're going to go, okay, I have 36 inches. There are, move that over, 36 inches. I know that there are 12 inches per feet. So if I want to put this in feet, I'm going to divide it by 12, and that'll get me my feet. So I just go 36 divided by 12, and then I go, hey, I know the answer. It's 3. And then my answer is 3 feet. Okay? If I were to do the proportion, just to let you know, it would go over 36 inches, x feet equals 1 foot over 12 inches, and you would have to cross multiply and then divide, and it gets you the same answer essentially. So if you know your conversion numbers, it's easiest to just divide that way. Now I'm going from 5 pounds to, this is number 3 now, from 5 pounds to how many ounces? So are we going bigger to smaller or smaller to bigger? Give you a second. You're right. We are going from bigger to smaller, which means we're going to do what? We're going to multiply. Woo! I like multiplication. I just like math in general. So if you recall, again, this is not on your sheet unless you wrote it down, but 1 pound is 16 ounces. So if we know we're going to multiply, then what do I have to do? How much do I multiply it by? I have my 5 pounds. What do I multiply it by? We're going to put that on the bottom. We're going to multiply it by 16 because we know that for every pound that I have, there's 16 ounces. So if I need to find how many ounces are in 5 pounds, I need to multiply it, right? So let's do this. We got 5, and so that's 30. And then we have 5 and 1, that's 5, and 3 is 80. Well, it's 8, and then my answer is 80. That's what I meant. That's how I got there. So, 80 ounces. That's a lot of ounces if you think about it in terms of steaks. Wow, I can eat about 6 ounces of steak, just to let you know. All right, and finally, let's look at number 5. I'm going from miles to feet. That's a point, by the way. You can look on your sheet, but it says 1.5. So I'm going from 1.5 miles to how many feet? Now, miles to feet is what? Bigger to smaller or smaller to bigger? It's bigger to smaller. So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to do what? Multiply or divide. I'm going to divide again. I'm sorry. Multiply. That's what I meant. We're going to multiply, not divide. That would not get us the right answer. All right. So if we look at our chart, we see that miles to feet is 5,280. So we're going to do 5,280, right? That's how many feet are in 1 mile, but we need 1.5 miles. So, I guess you could divide it by 2 and then add them together, but the easiest thing to do is with multiplication. 1.5. So 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 8 is 40. You got 10, 14, and then 25, 26. Erase those. Add your 0. Please don't forget to do that. Then you've got 0, 8, 2, 5. Yeah, that's right. And now you add it. So you got 0, 0, 12, 8, 9, 7. All right? However, we are almost missing a step, and I don't want us to miss a step. So what are we going to do? We got to remember to count it up, count it up. So if we have our little dot there, we have 1 decimal point, right? So we're going to move it over 1. Our answer will be 7,920 feet. Okay? Makes sense? So go ahead and complete the rest of it, including number 17. If you have any questions, you want me to check it, whatever, please reach out to me. Let me know.